DeSantis escalates his losing fight against Mickey Mouse as he fails to convince influential Republicans he has what it takes to bring down a far bigger rodent, Donald J. Trump. All that and more now on Graph's Grievances. Folks, this is not your father's Republican Party. That's been Joe Biden's message to independents and moderate Republicans since launching his campaign for the White House back in April of 2019. And President Biden's words could not be ever more true today. Expected 2024 Republican presidential candidate, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, continuing his crusade against one of the largest corporations in America as he seeks to punish them for opposing his hateful, homophobic, and anachronistic policies. DeSantis announcing new legislation allowing the Florida government to exert unprecedented oversight of Disney and their Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando. This move, the latest in a continuing battle between the governor and the entertainment giant that began last year when Disney publicly opposed DeSantis' so-called Don't Say Gay law, which bars school instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity. DeSantis now also floating the idea of building a prison next to Walt Disney World, raising taxes on Disney hotels, and imposing tolls on roads that lead to its famed theme parks. Now you might be thinking, what's the big deal? Maybe Florida needs a new prison. Likely not. Maybe Disney should pay more taxes in Florida. Possibly. Maybe Disney shouldn't be trusted to inspect their own rides, as they are currently allowed to do. But this is why you should care. You should care because DeSantis is using the power of the state to try and silence his critics and demand total and complete allegiance to him. This is what happens in an authoritarian state with a king or a dictator. In a democracy, the government is supposed to be by, of, and for the people. The government is supposed to work for you, not serve the interest of the head of state. And the sad reality is that Republicans used to understand this. Republicans used to be the party of free markets, anti-regulation, pro-capitalism, and big business. But today, the Republican Party is increasingly being led by a small group of mostly white men with fragile egos who cannot tolerate anyone disagreeing with them. Disney's chief executive, Bob Iger, saying that DeSantis' actions are not just anti-business, but also anti-Florida, and warning that future investments by Disney in the state could be at risk if the governor continues to attack them. And that should be a huge alarm bell to all Floridians. Disney currently employs more than 75,000 people in the Sunshine State and is the state's largest taxpayer. Furthermore, Disney has earmarked more than $17 billion in additional spending in Florida over the next decade. That is estimated to create an additional 13,000 jobs. Your father's Republican Party would have done backflips to preserve this kind of investment, believing that it would be to the benefit of all Floridians. But not DeSantis. He cares about himself and himself alone. And now, some of DeSantis's fellow Republicans are starting to realize the Yale and Harvard grad has miscalculated. Former governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie, slamming DeSantis as a fake conservative, and former President Donald Trump posting on social media, quote, DeSantis is absolutely destroyed by Disney. Their next move will be the announcement that no more money will be invested in Florida because of the governor. Trump also notably calling DeSantis DeSantis in this post. Also taking shots at DeSantis, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and former Vice President Mike Pence, each suggesting that DeSantis's fight with Mickey Mouse is not good for DeSantis or the Republican Party. But the so far unanswered question is, what will Republican primary voters think of DeSantis's starring role as an anti-woke, anti-business Disney supervillain when they pick their presidential candidate? Thanks for watching Grievances. Let me know what you think.